Hello everyone!
Hello!
Today we are having a bunch of watercolor pencils from
TD.
They are by their own brand called Einhorn, which I believe is just like some thing they created to appear like very creative. Yeah, you can see you also get them in other countries, like there's Austria, Belgium,
Slovakia.
Spain. I wanted to say España. You get them like in a bunch of European countries. I'm pretty sure you will probably also get them in other countries, maybe not packaged like this, but in a similar fashion. And yeah.
So yeah, we got these at TD. We showed them in the previous video in our article that basically I said I don't have much faith in these because they cost €3. And I mean, to be honest,
very cheap.
They don't look very good.
I mean, when we picked them up in the shop, they reminded me of the bunch of watercolor pencils we picked up at Action a year ago or so. Yeah, those, we used them in a few videos, and if you have seen them, you know that we are not really that enthused of them.
Yeah, these by DecoTime are not very good. They don't blend, and well...
Yeah, their general color pigmentation is not very nice.
It's very lacking, and they're incapable of blending. There is a more in-depth review of these further back on the channel. It was one of the much earlier things where there was even a time lapse and everything that went with it. I mean, in theory, they look very premium.
They look very premium. I mean, I'm not sure how well this comes over on camera. They have like a matte finish and they have like nice writing on the side. And we know that looks isn't everything, but they look nice. You want to touch them and just use them.
And also they're triangular and everything. But they're very disappointing.
The presentation is like 1A, but the execution is kind of like more like 4B or something like that.
So there is a reason why I have brought these in to compare here, because off camera I also have a bit of time-lapse footage which I will be sharing as well, where I've actually tried these out. And let's just say they are not what I expected them to be. And that is actually a positive.
That makes me curious.
So the only thing that I have not used in the Einhorn set is the sharpener. I have used a pencil, and I've used the water brush, and I've used all the colors. The pencils are actually very good quality. They don't feel scratchy, because sometimes you will get a cheap pencil and even though it says HB, it feels more like just an H or something. It's either hard and scratchy or they break easily, you know, something like that.
I mean, I never had really bad experiences with HB pencils they give you in any case, but I take your word for it that you did.
I've had lots of bad experiences with these.
So no, when we picked this up and I saw these three pencils, I was thinking, yeah, well, we get 3 pencils for the price of €3, that's not too bad. But yeah.
So, this is the water brush, which as you can see I have used. There's water currently in it. And I must say that I'm actually very impressed with this water brush. It's probably the best one we have shown on the channel.
Ooh, okay. I haven't used these. In that other video we did quite a while ago, a few weeks ago, you've seen me use one watercolor brush and I wasn't really like very fond of it because it just like makes big blobs of water on the paper, and I just liked the feel and look of an actual brush and a glass of water better than that.
Yeah, I actually used this for my entire thing. I have done a picture. I didn't do like a color swatching thing. I literally just flat out and decided to do a picture. And I used this water brush for the entirety of the picture. I didn't even feel the need to go for a paintbrush for more precision because there's just so much control that you can get out of this one, which is surprising. Also want to talk about the eraser quick. It's very soft. It doesn't make marks on your paper.
That's
so
good.
Even the eraser is good. So here's my colored picture.
Oh, that looks nice.
I decided to do some ponies, more based on how they would look in a Generation 1 cartoon. There's no rhyme or reason to their coloring. But I just want to talk about the pencils quickly. They are actually very good. which I did not expect to say about them.
I mean, they do feel as nice as a color pencil can feel. Yeah, they are not triangular, which is a bit of a pity because I like the triangular shape of the other ones.
Yeah, I think these are just normal hexagonals.
You can see if you have them like in some kind of like jar or anything, you directly see what you're picking because it has the color nicely telegraphed on the back end. And well,
Yeah.
I mean, feels like a color pencil.
It feels like a color pencil. But yeah, I just want to talk a little about the blending. They actually blend really good. I had no problems blending any of the colors. This pony over here, I literally only used dark blue, light blue and pink.
Ooh.
I didn't use any purple on it, but yet I managed to blend it and get my own purple.
That is impressive because that was something we could not do with the other ones that we have just shown here.
Yeah, the DecoTime ones are incapable of doing this. And also want to talk quickly about the paper. It's also very good. It has not buckled at all. And I also want to point out that touching this, you can't even feel the color on the paper.
No, you can't.
Sometimes these cheap colors normally feel chalky after
Yes.
a while. But yeah, it feels absolutely flush with the
No,
paper.
if you feel this part of the paper where there's obviously nothing and you feel this part, there's no difference. You just basically feel the grain and the texture of the paper, and that's
Yes.
it.
So I'm very impressed with the paper, and I'm actually very impressed with these colors. So I want you to sample them quick for me.
All right.
So to sample them, we are using the Creative Artist. That was not good. A Creative Artist watercolor paper, which is also very good, but I must say that I feel that this actually buckles faster than this one. So I actually prefer the Einhorn paper over this.
How many grams does this have?
This is also apparently 300
300
GSM, and this one's also 300. So I just need to prepare this quick. I've hidden something on this side.
All the suspense.
So I would like you to try and
Right.
color.
Does it matter? Can I just pick anything?
Pick anything.
Pick anything. Well, then I'm gonna start with the red one since I have that right here. Okay. That's not too bad. Actually, that's quite nice.
It's like they are not hard, but they're not really so soft either. They are kind of an in-between, and you get, how can I put it, a lot of control. There's no crumbling of the lead,
No, not at all.
but yet it doesn't feel so hard or anything. I don't know, it just feels really good to color with.
It does admittedly have a nice feeling.
Yes.
Okay, well, then let's just gonna use the orange one. Doop de doop doop doop. I'm not sure what to talk about because we've basically said how it feels.
Yeah.
And that's your lot, that's what you get, which is not a bad thing in this case. I expected these to be like kind of a little horrible. I just want to add like a third color here, because then we have like a nice red, orange, yellow going on. I'm pushing a little harder with the yellow. That alone comes over very nicely for me, because normally with yellow it's a bit hit and miss, especially with very cheap color pencils.
Yes.
This leaves you actually with a nice punchy yellow.
Yes.
That's cool.
I'm actually very impressed with the pigmentation of these, and as you will see here, the blending is actually really good.
Now comes my favorite part. As always, disclaimer, I'm not the watercolor specialist. I'm basically just would do this like a little child would do, which is maybe not the worst of approaches.
So what I like about this water
Ooh.
brush, it always expels the water very nicely.
And again, ooh. This is cool.
It's very pigmented, the colors blend. It's very surprising because I was actually ready to really complain about these, given that they just look so cheap and they were so cheap, but no, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at this. The pigment is strong.
It is.
It blends nice. You cannot do these with the DecoTime ones.
You can't, no. I can just quickly demonstrate. I mean, since this, also this water brush, the problem I had with the other water brush was that it would basically make like several huge blobs of water at the end. And you just ended up with a huge mess.
Yeah, it felt like you had no control on how the water was going to come out. It's like you could squeeze it soft and it would let out a lot, and other times you'd squeeze it hard and it would barely let any out. But here you just give it like a little press and then it will just always let out water basically the same way. Of course, if you squeeze it harder, it will let out more, the way you would expect.
That is actually very impressive. I was prepared to basically complain a lot now, but it seems like it's not gonna be the case this day. Let me just try the same with these ones.
Yes.
I'm opening them off camera since there is so much going on right here. So we have a reddish color, and here is orange. And what would you say is the punchiest of the yellows?
I would say this is probably the punchiest of the yellow.
Punchiest of the yellows, okay. Let's just give them the best chance they can get. Oh. That from the get-go feels different.
It does, doesn't it?
It feels very, very scratchy. I mean, you still can get like some nice color down if you use it this way. I always thought you did. Sorry. I'm making noises. That's not good. But also this is, at least I see this as red. It comes over more like a dark orange.
Yeah.
Okay, now I need to pay attention.
This is the DecoTime.
This is the DecoTime. Ugh. I'm not sure if you can hear it through the microphone, but it makes this very, very scratchy noise already. I'm pressing really hard here. And last one. Yellow, it's okay. But again, I mean, just in normal coverage, these were always like alright-ish.
They're alright-ish.
Okay, let's see, what do we get? Not much.
Yep, you see right off the bat, it's barely blending.
I mean, when I did this here, I mean, directly on, everything started to flow into each other. Here. I don't know, I don't like it.
No.
I never did, but now, I mean, look here. I mean, obviously this is just like a blob of paint, and as I said, I'm not like very versed in this kind of thing. But you can see everything flows nicely into each other. You can do these nice streaks and everything. When you try this here, it's like, it just, nah, doesn't want. No, that's exactly what I expected from it. And I'm still surprised.
Yeah, so I mean here you can still see where you laid down the original pencil over here, but it's way more blended. Here you can see the sharp outlines where you originally laid the color. It doesn't blend at all. Well, here at least there was an attempt for blending. So I'm going to move my thing here. So I don't think I really need to explain too much here, where you can actually tell which are the DecoTime and which is the Einhorn, but in case you don't. This is DecoTime. and that's Einhorn. As you can see, I used a light and dark blue, and I managed to get it to blend into one square. Here there was barely any blending. This was light blue and pink. You can see it's blended into each other, and here it just looks like it's been made wet.
Yeah.
That's Einhorn with a bit of red, orange, yellow. And here again there was like a red, orange, yellow, and as you can see the DecoTime is basically barely blended in comparison to the Einhorn over here. So again, this was €3 worth spent. It's hard to believe. I was actually really ready to rip on these and not like them.
Especially, well, we do generally not expect great things from the shop, as stupid as this may sound. But they are not known to have like great quality things. They are known to have very cheapish things.
Yes.
So it's always like a very big surprise, a very positive surprise if you find something that actually is usable.
Yes.
And mind you, the brand stuff we reviewed the other week that we didn't like also came from the same shop. But this is like their own no-name branded thing. So
yeah,
make out of that information what you want.
Yeah, so very soon we'll be doing a comparison of the DecoTime water-based markers with the Einhorn water-based markers to see if we're going to have something similar to this, if they will be similar, the same, will one be worse than the other. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see, because I really did not expect this with the coloured pencils.
Yeah, me neither. I was actually expecting this to be €3 into the oven.
I also expected that, but no, it's actually well worth it for this set. And that's basically all I have to say this week, that these are really good and we recommend them if you do see them.
So yeah, again, shop is called TD. I'm not sure what you call the shop in other countries, if it's also called like this or if it's called differently. But I mean, you will recognize the packaging. I would imagine they just swap out the branding or something, but this stuff will probably stay the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it basically for this week. If you liked this, don't forget to leave us a comment. Also, if you didn't like it, please leave us a comment and tell us why you didn't like it, so we can maybe make it better in the future. And we shall see you in our next video. Bye.
Goodbye.